What's up guys, back again with the best movie story channel. Not bored yet watching zombie movie? If you are, bear with me, please. In today's video we will talk movie called Alive, directed by Cho Hyung, that is successfully created many interesting movie. Now I know there is a lot zombie movie out there. Why this, you might be asked? Well, this movie filled with moral. I assure you, you will be sad at the end of this video. This movie was first released in South Korea in 24th of July 2020 and became global via Netflix on 8th of September. Just quick fact, this movie is the only one reached a whopping 1 million views during this pandemic in Korea. The rating for this movie is not bad either. It's 6.2 according to IMDb. This movie also might getting you an adrenaline rush because it has a lot of jump scare and probably gonna make you freaking out. Are you curious about this movie? Will they survive from the zombie or will they become a zombie? Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into the movie. This movie starts with John, who is in deep sleep because of gaming overnight. His gaming gear is also pretty advanced at the time. In fact, he earned money from playing games. So yeah, this dude is gaming. John woke up and checked the house, which was empty. He doesn't have a habit, and he always refused to go anywhere because he is more enjoy with his game. He looked at the dining table and there is a letter from his mom to buy groceries. But because he's lazy, he decided to play games and forget about the groceries. After a moment playing games, one of his friends tell him there is something strange happening on the news.
뭐야 저거? 뭐? 대박이야. 저거 레알임? 네, TV 한번 켜봐.
TV 저거 CG 아니야?
TV가 왜?
영화 같이?
올해 초부터 축적된 초미세먼지가 오늘 역대 최악.
So, John watched the news and looked up through the window, and John realized the situation already chaos. People are shocked, panic, and running from something. John confused what is really happening right now. John was surprised. He had never seen anything like this before. Everyone was biting each other and causing destruction everywhere. Then, suddenly he heard a knock on his door. I don't know what is going on his head, but he opened the door. Turns out it was his neighbor trying to hide from the zombie. He asked John for help, despite John told him to leave because he knew it will be dangerous for him.
아니 진짜 몰라요? 진짜 밖에 아무것도 못 봤어요? 화장실 한 번만 쓸게요.
Because John felt bad, he let his neighbor in and let him borrow the bathroom. Then John saw the further news about the characteristic of the virus and how they are spread. Continue? The neighbor, who seemed to have been taking a dump, came out with strange movement and red eyes, just like in the news. John swiftly took a knife and pushed his neighbor out of his apartment room. Well, fortunately, John was not bitten by the neighbor who had become zombie. If he was bitten, then the movie would probably end right here. Thanks to the director, because of his miracle, John can survive in this situation. Then, he blocked the door of his apartment with a fridge. After that, John panicked again and tried to contact his family, but no one could pick up the phone. When nighttime came, he had to organize his supplies to survive, and now he regret not buying a grocery at the market until he fell asleep. The scene changed to morning of day 2, where he tried to try various ways to be able to contact someone. He uploaded a photo to the social media with hashtag #MustSurvive, hoping that help would come. John back looking at the social media and he sees the guy who is looking for a signal by hanging from the apartment window. But what happened was that guy fell. Finally, John decided to use a drone to find a signal and tried to call his father. But the battery suddenly running out and he lost a way of contacting anybody. Because John had nothing to do, he chose to play game. Suddenly, the internet is going down and completely shut down the communication. After that, he took a nap on the sofa and woke up to the sound of a car outside his apartment. Then he saw a policewoman being chased by the zombie. With the intention to help, John shot at the zombie so they don't chase the policewoman. But it was useless. The zombie is still biting the policewoman, who eventually become a zombie. Instead, his screams were heard by the zombie outside his room, which made the zombie force its way. He tried to hold it, but he stood no change. Finally, he figured out a way of killing zombie by hanging on the apartment balcony and making the big fat zombie fall. Even though he won, the food inside the fridge is destroyed by the zombie. After that, he fixed the door and made sure it was strong enough to withstand a zombie attack. Fast forward 7 days later, John is hopeless. He even ate the last instant noodle and he accidentally bumped into the table and spilled the last water he had. When he went to the bathroom to get water, he was surprised because the water was no longer flowing. He remembered an application that many people don't use, that is a radio. Maybe he can find help on the broadcast. Unfortunately, radio application need a wire device, and John doesn't have any, and made John no longer have the opportunity to contact anyone. Entering day 15, made John even more hopeless. But suddenly he got a phone call from his family and immediately he heard that zombie wiped his entire family. He was very upset with the director. Why is his life so miserable? Then he destroyed everything and tried to kill a zombie. But then, he got shrink back when he realized the zombies surrounded him. Luckily, he was able to hide from the zombie and return to his room. Entering the day of 20, when he feels an earthquake, it turns out that the opposite city has been bombed by the military forces. Because of the quake, the electricity where June lived is completely shut down. Because he feels there's no hope to live, he decides to commit to suicide. When he tried to kill himself, he sees a laser beam from the next apartment room and apparently someone is still alive. Then, John cancels his intention to commit suicide. As you may guess, the girl named Eubin gives John hope to continue to live. The next day, they finally can contact each other with the phone they had. Eubin often gets attacked by the zombie. The difference is that she is more skilled than John. Eubin used handmade chair trap to withstand zombie attack. The scenes then changed to the next day where they greeted each other. But unfortunately, John felt terrible stomachache. Not because he needed to take a dump, but he was starving because he didn't eat anything for days. Eubin felt pity for John, so she shared some of her supply with John. She threw a tennis ball that was tied with a rope, but it was violent. And then, John had an idea by using a drone to deliver the rope. Suddenly, a zombie finds Eubin's rope and is able to climb it somehow. Eubin got hit by the table and knocked out because the rope is tied to the table that zombie was pulling. Then, John tried to waken Eubin, and finally she cut the zombie hand. Long story short, because the food is running low, so June forced to take food in his neighbor's room. When he arrived, he found various food and zombie behind the door. The attempt was successful with lots of food and walkie-talkie to communicate with Eubin. After several days, John and Eubin chatting.
못 그리는 사람이 어디 있습니까?
그건 양이 좀 많던데.
Suddenly they both heard a rumble again, thinking it's rain. Turns out a horde of zombies running up to the apartment. Because they panic, they hide and try to make a sound. However, as you may have guessed, the things don't go well. Eubin knocked over herself. As a result, a lot of zombies went to Eubin's rooms. This time, John is smart enough. By calling Eubin's neighbor room and thanks to John, Eubin survived. After that happened, Just quick information for you guys, Yubin is adventurous girl who is of course more skilled than John. Anyway, and finally, they both were rescued by suspicious man. Something wrong with this man, thinking by John. They both immediately serve food and drink. Because they both were hungry, they immediately ate it. However, bad things happen. They both experienced dizziness and they fainted shortly after. Turns out, this man wants to feed Yubin to his wife, who is already become a zombie. But luckily, John woke up and helped Yubin. Then swiftly the zombie were thrown to the man and the man hugged her tightly. Yubin shot both of them and made all the zombies around the apartment come to the room. And then a glimmer of hope returned when they heard the sound of helicopter on the roof. This gave Yubin and Jun hope to survive and rush to the roof. After they arrived, there was no helicopter. But miracle appeared when they were rushed by a lot of zombies. Suddenly, the helicopter comes and shoots all of the zombies. Finally, they both really survived, and thanks to the tweet on social media where John was posted before. Because he posted with hashtag alive on the Twitter, the military force comes because they thought there's some people still alive. While on the helicopter, there were so many incoming messages. One that touched John's heart was a message from his mother saying live on. And that's the ending of life. So yeah, that's all guys. There is nothing common from me for this movie, but from my perspective, this movie is recommended to you. So thank you for watching this video. I am Jay, and see you on the next another movie story. Bye.